My first video on this topic got massively popular for seemingly no reason, so I guess we'll just finish this fucking movie. Let's do this.
I believe we have arrived.
Okay, so our two boyo friend pal people things walk into this really cool, like, I guess, carnival place, and they see all these, like, they're kind of like the classic carnival show freak people. You know, the guy getting shot out of the cannon, and all of these weird, and whatever the fuck this is. Oh my god. But yeah, just weird things, I guess, kind of everywhere. Sorry to tease you, but they really do never explain the feet guy, the guy that is just all hands and feet. They don't ever explain that one. Sorry. So it's actually really important that you can see this dude hardcore just flirting it up with this girl. Dude's just going for it. So an actually pretty large part of the movie takes place on this ghost train. The ghost train is pretty much exactly what you think it is. It's an amusement park ride that's like haunted, quote unquote. So like it's supposed to be fun but also scary. So now we reach this lady. She goes up to him and the very first thing she says is, "Hey, do you want a job?" And then he looks at her and goes, "No, I'm just looking for some small child lady." And then she goes, "Who cares about small child lady? Do you want the fucking job?" And he's like, I'll get back to you." The reason he left is actually because he heard this thingy calling out that there was gonna be a show happening.
The flamenco salsa picante of Miss Acacia!
And of course, that is the name of pretty lady that he's trying to chase after at the moment. So they end up at this show, and this whole thing goes down.
Qué bonitos ojos tienes.
Anyway, yada yada yada. He, like, astral projects. He gets a Cuckoo-Clock boner, and we go on from there. I've said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. I really like a lot of the imagery in this movie. A lot of the imagery, the animation, and just the way that they show things metaphorically is just really nice, in all honesty. Oh yeah, you did it. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, good job. Anyway, so like any gentleman does, he fucking sneaks into her room. And he gets caught. Of course he gets caught. Obviously, he gets caught. There's just no chance that he wasn't gonna get caught here. But he tries to play it off with some wonderful advice from his friend.
The ultimate seduction is when you give the illusion of not even trying to seduce her.
Hey! Hola!
He's like, "I was tying my shoe." And she's like, "Do you often tie your shoe in other people's rooms?" And he's like, "No." And she's like, "Well, what do you want?" And he's like, "Here's some flowers, but they're actually glasses. Huh, I'm so clever." And she's like, "I don't like my glasses. They make me look uggo." And he's like, "I think you're cute when you're uggo." And then she's like, "Here's a rose petal." And then that's how that happens.
Could we see each other again? With or without glasses?
Perhaps.
It's amazing! She said perhaps!
I'll give this movie props for realism. That is in fact exactly how I would react to a woman telling me she might want to talk to me again. He runs back to the keeper lady, and in order to get the job as the Frightener, shows her the scariest thing he can think of. And then he finally gets the job, and we get to see exactly what the ghost train fully entails.
When I went on the ghost train, I met this old girl called Bridget Haim. I'm the boss of the ghost train. I used to steal skulls from the graves and break something you pay. I was the king of the ghost train, 'cause other people want to see my heart bleeding.
You scary skeletons and shivers down your spine.
The lady in charge is pissed because while it was a good song, it was not very scary at all. And so his job's on the line, basically. Now lady friend feels bad. She's like, I should have been more scared. I'm sorry. This is my fault. And then he's like, let's dance. And then she's like, I feel like I've met you before. And he's like, I want you to be inside of me. God, this movie knows exactly how to talk to a woman. Somehow, that line doesn't work. But it's not because of the line, it's actually because
My heart belongs to someone already. Someone I met a long time ago.
he tries to get help by consoling a friend, but in the end of it all, he just ends up incel raging, so that didn't really work out. Earlier, I said that it was very important that you paid attention to these two characters flirting with each other. It isn't actually important to the plot, but it does lead up to this wonderful short section of the movie, which I actually think is one of my favorite little bits. It's just a cute little movie. It's animated, but it looks like an old style thing. Just enjoy it. I'm only gonna play parts because copyright exists, but you know, just enjoy this little bit. It's really good. Woo, yay, you did it. I'm so proud of you. Yay, good job. After the concert, Jack takes her aside and essentially goes, hey, I know your man. He's evil. And she's like, no, he's not. He's very sweet. He's my height. He's got brown hair. He wears a really nice outfit. It's kind of like a trench coat. He's got nice shoes on. He's got a Cuckoo-Clock heart. And Jack is like, no, he's tall and evil. And she's like, no, he's not. I know, I remember. I think about him every day. I know when I saw him. Also, he tore my dress that one time when we hung out. And Jack, only when he hears that part, figures it out. But it's too late, because she's already flying into the fucking sky for some reason.
Please stop that, will you?
Stop what?
Stop that.
I don't think I can, actually.
Oh, never mind, keep going.
But don't worry, now that he knows that he is truly the love of her life, he just goes out and he tells her. He lets her know.
Is something you want to tell me?
Yes, there is.
Go ahead, say it.
Look, it's me, Jack. I left Edinburgh and crossed half of Europe for you, my love. And now give me your arm and let's scale the sky.
No, I'm kidding. He fucks it up and then goes running to his magic friend.
Yes, but I can't say it. I've already tried. The words jam in the back of my throat.
Jack and Magic Buddy here decide to do a puppet show. That way he doesn't actually have to tell her who he is. Instead, he can just show her and have her figure it out. Which, you know, kind of a smart way of doing it in this context. The show concludes with Jack giving her the piece of the dress that he tore off of her back when they were younger. And then she fucking dies.
The hammock of clouds between the south and the north of the half moon.
Not really, but she does pass out, and then he does try to make out with her.
What do you think you're doing exactly?
I was practicing kissing you while you were sleeping.
They do have a bit of a nice moment here. We learn that her family actually was in Edinburgh illegally, and they got shot down by ice. So she's on her own now, and that's why she ran away from home in the first place. They actually do have a really nice song here. Jack gives her the key to his heart, literally. However, it gets cut short because she has to go to her performance. She has to go sing. But like, performance this time instead of, you know, romantic. She tries to give him back the key to his heart so he can, you know, stay alive. And Jack is like, no, I love you. You are the one true key to my heart. Therefore, you must hold on to it. This cannot backfire at all. As a surprise to absolutely everybody, the plan backfires. Gerard Way shows up during the performance and gives her some flowers afterward. Jack and Miss Acacia were planning on running away together, but Joe here, he doesn't want that. He talks to Miss Acacia and tries to explain to her that Jack is this dangerous menace that will poke your eye out if you beat him up and then put your eye right next to his Cuckoo-Clock. I don't fully understand it, but I guess it works.
Won't get around me with your lies. I won't believe you.
I'm kind of conflicted on this whole argument because it's confusing entirely what Miss Acacia is going for here. It sounds like she's trying to protect him in some sentences. Essentially, I don't want us to leave together because if you fall in love, it'll break the fall in love rule and then your heart will explode. But it also sounds like she's trying to protect Joe, essentially, by being like, oh, well, you're a murderer that gouged his eye out, so how could I trust you not to also gouge my eye out? Which it's just really confusing, honestly, and her motivations here are mostly, it seems like, just to be angry. Either way, Jack's heart starts to explode and then gets struck by lightning, and then they basically just break up after that.
You make me feel so brave. I'd do the craziest things for you.
Yes, your behavior's simply insane. I agree. Now count me out.
But don't worry, it's not all bad because we also get a Joe revenge song. Let's go!
So many long years I've reflected and ruminated, unable to accept my adventure had been terminated. Miss Acacia haunts my mind, whatever I do, whatever I try. I've set out to find her and the man who gouged my eye.
I admit this song is significantly better than the first one. It just shows Joe's motivation significantly better and has a lot more story context than the first one.
I expected you to put up a fight. I'm disappointed in you.
After a little bit of argument and a little bit of a tussle, Miss Acacia ends up leaving the circus with Joe instead. After literally ripping his own heart out, he goes to his magician friend, and the magician friend is like, yo, I could probably patch this up, and Jack is like, no, I don't want to be patched up, I want a new one. And the magician friend is like, what? You'll get over it, you don't need a new heart. And Jack is like, ha, I do, because I gave the key to my heart away. Ha ha, didn't think about that one, did ya, dummy?
You give the key to your heart to any old spark you meet?
Because of this, he decides that he needs to go back to Edinburgh to get a new heart from Mother Lady. However, at the same time, Miss Acacia realizes that she has the key and wants to return it so Jack can actually, you know, live. Also, we found out that Witch Lady died of a broken heart by not being allowed to be around Jack anymore. Miss Acacia asks Magician Man, yo, where's Jack? And Magician Man is like, yo, he's going to Edinburgh. And then she's like, ah, shit. Before we get to the ending, I just want to say that this is honestly one of the most beautiful endings I've seen in a movie in a long time. So if you don't want to see the ending and you want to fully experience it yourself, click off the video now, because I am going to completely ruin this just like I've ruined the rest of the movie.
Thanks.
Poor creature. Oh dear.
Now that we're at the sad part of the movie, they inform Jack that Witch Lady is dead. Since she's gone, nobody can de-rust Xylophone Man, so they've essentially lost both of them. After finding out that she's dead, he goes out to her grave and starts allowing himself to slowly freeze to death. Shortly after, Miss Acacia shows up and tries to talk to him.
Jack! I'm here! Jack!
She starts to slowly piece his heart back together until he eventually stops her.
I'm not too late. I came back to save you.
You already saved me.
Jack takes the key and throws it away, exclaiming that he doesn't want to be controlled by his heart anymore, and that he wants to have some sort of control over his feelings and emotions. And it all leads to this beautiful moment. After this lovely adventure of a movie, we end with this little bit of symbolism here, showing Jack climbing up to heaven.
Shining blue. Under the hammock of clouds, between the south and the north of the half moon, and love you.
I had forgotten how depressing the ending of this movie was in the process of making the second half, that coming upon it now actually is making me relive emotions of the first time I saw it. It's just a good ending. It's symbolic, it's beautiful, and I can't imagine a different way for this movie to end. And so, honestly, just fantastic movie overall. I highly recommend this to everybody. Well, now that that movie's done, if there are any other movies you guys want me to cover, please leave them down below. Otherwise, I was thinking Zombillennium, which is another French animated movie, which is also nonsense, not nearly as good. Or I was thinking there are a bunch of other completely mediocre or bad movies that I could cover that a lot of other people have covered. So it's really up to you guys. Leave in the comments what you'd like, and we'll go from there. Also, like, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense. I really enjoyed making this video. It's extremely time consuming, but I'll probably make more of these in the future, which I guess I said that last time, but we'll see how it goes.